top pay-per-click ad networks. Today I'm going to talk about how to choose the right ad platform for your e-commerce business. And I'm going to center this conversation around kind of the big four, which are Google ads, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and LinkedIn ads. And we're going to get into that right now. Before we continue, I want to let you know that my goal with this channel is to produce weekly videos that provide valuable information to help you succeed online. Take a quick second and subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified every time I put out new videos. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. And now let's get on to the meat and potatoes. So whether you're just starting out or you're trying to find a new ad platform, it's hard to find just simple information to make good decisions. You ask your friends or colleagues and they say, oh, Google ads are too expensive. They don't work anymore. Or Facebook is just for old people, so don't advertise on Facebook. Or you have to be on Instagram, which I'm a big fan of Instagram. But you know, you get all of these advice from people and you just don't know where to turn. So I think the first and best thing to do is to ask yourself a series of questions like, what's your audience? What type of product are you trying to sell? And ultimately, what are your marketing resources? So with these questions in mind, let's take a quick look at these big four ad platforms. Okay, so the first on my list is Google Ads. And with Google Ads, with respect to the first question that we're going to ask ourselves is our audience, our demographics. Does our audience play or search and use this network? So in North America, roughly in 2019, about 90% of people use Google. So you got the green check mark there. In Europe, it's something like 93%. And for the rest of the world, it is extremely high. So I don't think you have to worry about your audience not being on Google. So you can get the green check there. With respect for your product, you want to know that it is represented well on Google, and the main usage for Google is people that have high purchase or conversion intent. I'm going to sit down and do a search on Google for a, let me do this, for a day trip to Napa, right? Because I'm planning in the very near future a day trip to Napa, and you can see I have these ads that are right here. Also, I'm going to, if I do a search for a Ninja blender, like a product, boom. Again, I have the ads that show up here. Here's Google Shopping, which is also sponsored. I am in the market for a Ninja blender. I'm going to be doing my research, doing my price comparison, etc. So the reason why people say that Google ads are so high is because it is one of the closest to the conversion. It's not a long wait game. Typically, when somebody sits down and does this search, they are going to do their purchase intent almost immediately afterwards. So for this reason, Google ads are great. Now, for the third question about your marketing resources with respect to this ad platform, when I say marketing resources, I mean, what is your comfort level as an individual for setting up and running through the ad network and completing that task? Or do you need to hire or outsource that to somebody else? Google has made it very, very easy, and especially with access to their own ad people that you can call and contact and help walk you through. So it's very user-friendly. With respect to these ads, these text ads, you don't need a lot of help. This is just text, really text only. These pictures come from your own e-commerce store, the ones that you upload into the Google Shopping network if you choose to do that route. But you know, if you're not doing any high-end creative like video or advertising on YouTube, then these text ads are very effective, and the Google Ad Network could be a very good choice for you. If you like these videos, then let me know by liking this video. That way more people will get the opportunity to see it. Okay, next on my list is Facebook. And Facebook several years ago was all the rage, but I think for several different reasons, Facebook has lost a little bit of its luster, but it is still exceptionally effective. So You can see as we just scroll down here over in the right hand side, there are obviously ads in my newsfeed. There are ads in the marketplace and in a lot of other places. So let's dive into the first question. Your demographic is your audience on Facebook. And people will say that Facebook is for older people, and that's not true. That's a myth. Yes, it's highly effective with older people nowadays, but about 2/3, just over 2/3 of all Americans use Facebook. And 35% of Facebook's audience is under the age of 25. Also, over 40% of all Americans that are 65 and over are on Facebook. So Facebook will work for just about any audience that you throw at it. Plus, of its infinite audience finding capability, people that have certain interests and likes, you can really do some magic with Facebook. Plus, if your product appeals to a 45 plus crowd, then Facebook would be an excellent choice for your product. Now, speaking of product, what is your product and will it work on Facebook's platform? Now, Facebook doesn't have a high purchase intent like Google Ads do. People that are on Facebook are perusing their newsfeed, they're interacting with their friends, they're sharing stories and things of this nature. They are not here to just sit down and buy. So we're going to be introducing our message to them while they're doing that. So you're going to have to grow into conversion with them. You're going to have to introduce your brand over time, and that's okay. You just have to understand what the platform is built for, and then you can make the most of it. So don't expect to just start with a little tiny ad budget and just blow it out of the water and become a millionaire in no time on Facebook. Although it is possible, you have to use the platform for what it is designed for. So that is going to be engaging with people, introducing your brand, and getting people to share and like, etc. So it is a longer play on Facebook. Now, the third element here is your marketing resources and your wherewithal about using the Facebook ad system. It is a little more advanced. There are almost an unlimited amount of options that Facebook will throw at you. So you really want to be confident in what you're doing and your capabilities for running these types of ads. Plus, it is going to require a lot of visual creative. Let's find an ad real quick. There's someone. Here's something that looks nice. Here's a nice visual for an ad. You're going to need to be able to craft either an image or a short video for your ad to capture people's attention. You then need to send them to a landing page that is clean and it is a direct representation of your ad, not only for the person you're trying to go through your funnel, but also for Facebook, because they will make sure that your sequence, your conversion sequence, is what you're touting it to be. Now, Facebook has an awesome capability for remarketing to people. So in terms of remarketing, Facebook is almost untouchable. So certainly look into that and set that up for your business. Okay, next up is Instagram. And I'm a big fan of Instagram overall, not just for its ad platform, but you need to know that Instagram doesn't have nearly the placement options as Facebook does, even though it is owned by Facebook. And with respect to its demographics, Instagram has somewhere around 500 million active users, and about 80% of those folks are not in the United States. You need to consider that. So that 20% represents 100 million people, and that is roughly about 30% of all Americans. So it's still a big number. And 60% of those are under the age of 30. So you need to keep in mind of what audience is on this platform. Now, I would not go and try to do plumbing services or sell Ninja blenders or things. This is really more of a flashy, aspirational style type of product, like what I have here on screen, maybe a trip to Napa Valley or some higher end products work. Keep that in mind when you're trying to choose Instagram and to see if it will work for your product. Now, when it comes to assessing your marketing resources for Instagram, the ad network is not overly complicated at all, so it is very friendly for self-serve. However, it is one of the highest creative demanding networks that there is. People on Instagram expect very, very high visuals and videos, images, graphics, all of those things. You have to be spot on with Instagram. The creative isn't really all that important on Instagram. It is almost all visual based. So keep all that in mind when considering Instagram as an ad platform. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment down below and I'll be sure and answer them. If not, just leave #adventures in e-commerce. Okay, so the last on my list is LinkedIn. And if you have a product or service that appeals more to a B2B play as opposed to a B2C, then LinkedIn should be your first and ultimate place to go for running ads to try to generate leads or sell your product. So in 2016, Microsoft bought LinkedIn and has really tried to turn this thing around, and in the last 2 years have added over 120 million new users, which is quite a big number. LinkedIn has about 590 or 600 million active users. So chances are, again, if you're appealing to the B2B space, then your demographic will be on LinkedIn. A couple other additional facts are that about 45% of all Americans with a college degree are on LinkedIn, and about 80% of all B2B leads are generated on LinkedIn. So this is where your demographic will be. With respect to your product, again, if it is that B2B type of product or service, then your upper level CPAs and lawyers and higher level decision makers spend quite a bit of time on LinkedIn. If it is something, again, for an entry level type person, you don't know that necessarily you're going to see the most success on LinkedIn for that. You might choose a different network. But if your product is for those higher end decision makers, then LinkedIn is great. With respect to purchase intent, it's a lot like Facebook. They're not there to sit down and, they can't wait to sign up for your product or service. So you can help build your brand, create awareness, and regularly post and reach out to people. And using direct ads through InMail, you can send a message directly to the type of person that you want to try to generate a lead from. As far as your marketing resources go, LinkedIn is kind of in the middle of the road with respect to their usability for their ad network. But as far as ads go, you have professionals that are on this network. So you might consider a short video. It has to be produced very well. Any kind of imagery or graphics need to be spot on. And if you're using the InMail service where you're just sending messages directly to your leads or prospects, then it needs to be written in a very, very crisp, educated way. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope that you're able to take this information and really put it to use for you. Also, don't forget to download my free 30-page ebook on how I launch products on Amazon. It's free, instant access. Just click on the link below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to be notified of future videos, and don't forget to like this video. Now, watch that video next. Go ahead, watch that video.